PGYM is just a great way to support youth ministers themselves. I mean, a lot of us are lucky if we have even a part-time position, and so this is a great way to augment what we're able to do. We don't necessarily have all the resources to do a full-time program, but this is a great way to really pump up what you've got going on. The events that they host for the youth of the diocese are a great way for me to reach out beyond my parish and do things that we can't do on our own, to get together with a larger group of kids, to see new faces, to interact with other leaders, to find out what they're doing in their parishes, but still coming together around a common event.
We see it holistically, that it's not a matter of our kids going to Sunday school or to youth programs within the four walls of our parishes, but that they take those skills and take those lessons, apply them to the real world, and give this Christian message, as we understand it as Anglicans and Episcopalians, to the rest of the world, to share their voice, a voice that proclaims the God of love, a God of abundance, and a God of peace.
Life Size Clue was a fun way for our kids to interact with the church without it necessarily being a Bible study or a religious education kind of thing, but to get to see the bishops having fun and joining in with them was huge. At first, when I told them, hey, we're going to go play Life Size Clue with the bishops, they had no idea what I was talking about. But the more I explained it, it's like, there's the board game and costumes, and they're like, what? They're going to do what? And so for them to show up and they see the bishops dressed up like this, suddenly things would become a lot more fun and a lot more accessible to them. And then they're looking around the room and they're seeing kids from different churches, and they're all having fun together, and they walked away just, they couldn't really believe that this was something that was possible. And the parents got excited too. They thought, wow, my kid gets to go to the cathedral center and spend some time with the bishops, and it's not for a confirmation or something. This was huge, just to broaden their horizons on what's possible in the church.
If you're a laity, if you're a priest, if you're a deacon, if you're the bishop, if you're anyone, just being there, making the time to focus on the kids so that they know that they're cared for, and they learn and understand why it's important to be a part of a church, part of that community.
When I grew up in the church, I had adults invest in me and try to show me the way of Jesus, and that really had a significant impact in my life.
Sometimes it's as simple as just showing up and just being there.
I go to some of my kids' sporting events or these things, and I'm like, hey, this is my friend, and he's my youth pastor or something, and other kids see that, and they also see that their friend, who didn't try to convert them, isn't a part of the Christian club at their school, does have a faith, and they do go to church, and there is somebody that's not their parent who's interested in them. These things change people.
In Deanery 5, we even started getting together with some of the other youth ministers. We wanted to get together not only socially, but also to talk about, are there events that we can be sharing if we just put our calendars out there, if we know what's going on. The Pasadena area is a pretty close-knit area. These kids can be running into each other across town and just not know that they go to the Episcopal Church that's down the road.
We were all youth at one point. So where were we, and who was teaching us to be here? Most of the people here leading youth were led as youth. They had leaders. They had people who stood by them. They had people who let them be teenagers.
Well, the idea behind Deaneries for Youth is that we have these local parishes that all have youth ministers or volunteers or full-time, part-time, but there's no way to connect with the other churches in their local deanery. And there's also no way for the program group on youth ministry to target each and every one of these churches. So if at the deanery level we're able to kind of consolidate and find one person who can focus in on organizing with these youth ministers, and then for that person to be the deanery representative to the PGYM, gives some accountability to showing up and helping the PGYM, being a voice for that particular deanery, talking about, here are things that went well, here are things that didn't. And for that person to have that specific accountability, I think leads to more organization, more voice from the local parishes and enables the parishes to really be represented at the diocesan level.